And welcome back, everybody, to Valkyria Chronicles. We are up to the Maiden Shield. We're gonna watch some cutscenes, then we'll dive into battle. Be great. The Marmota, which is a ship on land. Something that would not really work well on anything but a very flat, open plain. You have to imagine that the ship is running on some sort of tread or wheels or something that's able to grip the ground.
The Clodin wildwood is but a tender flower patch before the Marmota.
Your Grace, a massive explosion was reported at the Citadel at Ghirlandaio, sir. Our rear guard and Gallia's primary force were both caught in the blast and obliterated.
I see. Then Selvaria has performed her duty.
Yeah, she's murdered
Now
the
nothing
main army.
remains to stay our hand. Continue the march to the Gallian capital.
The Empire's ultimate weapon passed unhindered through the thick of Clodin's woods, said to be impenetrable to all but bird and beast, and continued its juggernaut march north towards the gates of Castle Randgrease. Leaving the former site of the Citadel at Ghirlandaio behind, the militia raced to the capital's southern gates to intercept it.
Everyone, we've received intelligence on the weapon coming through Clodin's forest. The report identifies it as one of their most tightly guarded development projects.
Which is hard to believe as big as it is.
It closely matches plans for a terrestrial dreadnought, Marmota. It's heavily armored and carries a host of large caliber cannons. A battleship on legs.
Yes.
Leave it to the imps. It's one ridiculous tank after the other from these people.
Yes.
Furthermore, it is likely that Maximilian is aboard the Marmota in person.
Are you serious? How'd he get there so quickly?
Regardless,
They brought the thing to him.
Capital will be in danger.
Oh, sure, just gotta stop it. It's a battleship, boss. How are we gonna stop it?
We'll be cooperating with the Randgrease Royal Guard in effecting Operation Maiden's Shield. Our job is to lure the Marmota into a canyon the Guard has lined with mines. Beyond the mines, they'll be concentrating all of their firepower to stop it.
Leading it into a minefield, huh? So we're the bait.
Correct.
Unfortunately, yes. With Gallia's army vaporized, this plan is our only real option. Once they get out on open land, there's no stopping them. It has to happen in that gully.
True.
A land dreadnought. I still can't even imagine.
Welkin.
Alicia, what's wrong? You look kind of down.
It's nothing. I'm fine. Now let's go beat us up a battleship.
That's ominous.
Alicia.
Alright, one more. This is a side story, but we're going to get a little bit of insight as to what's going on back at home.
Highness, the Empire's dreadnought approaches at great speed.
Thank you.
The Royal Guard and militia were deployed in a tandem operation, but the outlook is grim.
We understand. We shall join them on the field. Fetch here the royal armament and tell the castle guard to assemble outside.
Your Highness, where do you intend to go?
I cannot idly sit atop a throne while the nation crumbles around me. It is the office of the Archduke's duty to fight for the safety of its people.
Ah, yes, but that would be inconvenient, Highness. I ask you, make no foolish choices.
Borg, what is the meaning of this?
You are a precious bargaining chip alive. It would not do to allow you to simply leave.
Bargaining chip? You plan to sell our nation to the Empire
Correct.
then?
Perish the thought, dear princess. Gallia is about to be reborn, a new child. As a glorious kingdom with me as its king.
He hopefully has all the support of the army behind him. Otherwise, I feel that his head would be on a pike in about 15 seconds.
We're about to commence Operation Maiden's Shield, together with the Randgrees Royal Guard.
About 7 will begin the operation from this position. Armada will approach from the north end of the area, advancing southward at every turn. You'll head along this route, trying to direct its path. Your mission is to lead it to this location. Royal Guard and Field Full of Mines. I repeat, your objective is to lure Marmota to this point. Anyone caught in the path of its advance will be out instantly. There's no medics. Plan your tactics carefully. And obviously the Marmota cannot go to the left, far left, or far right paths. It has to go to the center path. Otherwise, you lose. Also, the tanks are required, even though they just act as more or less something that takes up room on the field. So what we're doing here is we're putting all of the guys that give us commander points in, and then we're going to leave the snipers out because they're going to waste too many turns, and we'll focus on mainly fast-moving scout, and then stormtroopers later. So, and I guess we'll also bring along an engineer in case my tanks get damaged. Obviously can't summon any guys into battle once I've just, clicked the start button. So whatever units I bring is what I got. I can't, obviously bring more in.
Letting the enemy past here means allowing them into the capital. That must be avoided at any cost. Good luck.
We have to divert that monster away from the capital. Squad 7, move out!
So, now that we've gotten to this point, I kind of wanted to talk about some things.
So that's it, huh? They weren't kidding with that battleship stuff.
Remember, our mission's just to lead it along. Avoid combat where you can. And don't forget to keep your distance. Get run over by that thing and it's all over.
You're dead, essentially. Yeah, so there are no medics here. Obviously, your main characters will just retreat. However, any characters that are not one of your main 5 or so, they will die forever. So what the plan here is, we're going to go, and you probably can't see it, but to the right-hand side of Alicia, there are some bombs that are stacked up, and we need to shoot those bombs. When the bombs go on a conveniently level-based timer, so if you happen to be too close when you shoot the bombs, the landslide that it's going to create won't immediately cause your guy to get hit by the landslide and die. But yeah, big thing is you want to move up as quickly as possible. Marmota does not move fast, but it's very easy if you do not move your tanks, or you have a lot of very slow-moving guys. Yeah, this is what we want to shoot. We're going to leave that alone for right now. We want to make sure we have a clear path for our other slower-moving enemy or allies. Also, it occurred to me that I probably shouldn't have brought Cherry or anyone else that isn't just strictly for increasing the number of movements per turn. But because essentially using Cherry wastes one of those commander points that I don't really have extras of. But that being said, there is plenty of commander points to go around, so it's not like I'm going to run out so long as I don't use my tank, because that eats 2 commander points. As long as I don't use that as quickly, we should be okay. What I do want to talk about is, and I've mentioned this in previous episodes, the lack of airplanes in this, or blimps, or anything else that you could use to take a bomb and drop it on top of the Marmota. Definitely influences the philosophy of going, you know, bigger, and because we don't have a navy, we're not dealing with navy, which is a different set of issues entirely, you know, both gameplay and otherwise, because we're not doing a navy. Is about as close you're gonna get, so you're getting biggest, make the tanks, which are kind of like the apex of technology at this point, make them bigger. There's another reason why the Marmota is this big, but we'll get to that eventually. But I'm thinking in terms of this mission right now, what we're doing is we're leading the Marmota into these canyons. And I feel like because the way this is, you would expect the, you know, your damage would be, you know, protecting your wheels, obviously, you know, protecting the armament, you know, the people inside the Marmota, you know, that sort of stuff would be primary concern for you. But the top of your ship shouldn't be as heavily fortified, because you're adding by doing that you add additional weight, which slows the thing down, makes it less efficient, you know, etc, etc, etc. So again, bringing it into these valleys between, you know, what it is they're, you know, in gaming they're boundary boxes, but in terms of like actual, you know, you're bringing them between mesas, or you're bringing them between mountains, and you feel like if you're trying to stop something like the Marmota, you would want to lure it into such a situation, or wait for it to end up in, because not that this is inevitable, but just the nature of this level, there's lots of you know, high plateaus or mountains or whatever they're supposed to be on both sides. You feel like you should be able to partition or put tanks on these upper ridges, or rocks or whatever, and then rain rocks down on top of the Marmota to damage its command centers at least, and to hopefully put maybe not an end to the Marmota, but definitely to try to deal damage so it's slowed, either by removing crew members that are needed to keep it moving, or by damaging key systems. She's just telling us what we need to do, which is basically, you'll see to the left of the Edelweiss tank on this map right now, you'll see these little squares. There's another one. Yeah, if you look directly to the left, a little bit down, yeah, that's one of the bombs. So we want to set off all these different bombs. The one behind me just slows the Marmota down more than anything. The most important ones to do are, you'll probably see it next to that tree on the side, right side of the screen. There's a bomb there. There's another bomb to the opposite side of that needs to be taken out. But more than anything, we want to keep pushing the guys up the path as quickly as possible. Luckily, the tanks, this minefield up here is more dangerous for the humans than the actual tanks themselves. because they're all human mines. The tanks treads can just roll over the human mines and not deal any damage to the actual treads themselves.
Been waiting here.
So we're just gonna have to keep an eyeball
Joker's still all right?
open for making sure that we don't accidentally put someone on a human mine, and then we'll try to keep the tanks outside of the tank mines, which are the bigger ones. So we're doing a good job getting these guys up the field as quickly as possible. Farthest one back right now is Vice, but he's even, if I left him exactly where he was, even he would be out of range of the Marmota on the next turn. But as you can see, we're doing a good job moving everybody up, so I don't have enough turns right now to get everyone through the gate here.
No matter the cost.
Particularly the Edelweiss is the sort of the slowest one, so it will not gonna cost too many command points, but I can definitely get Nadine and Rosie and or Cherry or whoever through the gate. This supposed gate I just was talking about. And then move up to the next set of stone wall or whatever. There are some guys hidden here and there, but they're not like everywhere enough to slow you down. And that's all no man's land. That's out of the boundary box. But there are some guys within the mine area, and then there are like 3 or 4 guys guarding that that marker. So I do. Again, I know this is a complicated thing. I know they don't want to deal with air combat, and the game is very heavily land-based, and it's sort of set again in a fantasy world where you're able to build gigantic tanks and not have to really worry about them running into natural hazards that would prevent them from, say, going up a slight hill or going down a hill or something like that. So she procced Valkyrie right as she was about to explode, so I think that saved her from dying. But we will make sure that she does not blow up on another one.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
So let's could heal her if we wanted to. We'll save that and let the engineer do that because she's got the larger version of the heal. I could literally move anyone I want at this point. Worst one would be probably moving Alicia again, just because they'd be pushing her even farther. Yeah, she gets a little bonus for going last, so I kind of like to use her last anyways. Plus, because she's an engineer, she can... I'm kind of taking a look around here to figure out what I need to do with my tanks. But she can deactivate these mines if I want to. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to see how this goes. Because I do have to put my... I'll have to push my tanks through here, whether I blow up this star steel guard or not. So the enemy more or less stays where it is, or wherever they're positioned, at least until we get, say, closer to them. They're not gonna like sneak out of the bushes and find me. I'm more or less gonna have to run into them before they move.
They've stopped in front of the rock slide.
But you think there would be something in this universe that is not because obviously the Valkyria is sort of the I don't know, the natural 20, where you roll, you get a Valkyria on your side. You've more or less got an instant victory, with the exception of if a Valkyrie runs into another Valkyr. That seems to be about the only thing that has been able to really counter the Valkyr, because normal weapons can't seem to do damage to them. And in addition, their attacks seem to be like on the level of like otherworldly, god level magic, whatever you want to call it, and it seems unlikely that you would be able to counter that in any conventional way. And that goes for the Marmota as well. I don't think the Marmota could conceivably counter a Valkyrie attack, but we don't want to use Alicia's power, because both within the storyline and as a greater theme, we don't Alicia and her Valkyrie powers, we like Alicia because she's Alicia, not because she's a Valkyria. And we're trying to make it as poignant as possible that we will win this battle regardless of her being a Valkyria and without her Valkyria powers. Because friendship is magic, that sort of hunky bunk bullshit.
Let's do this thing.
But again, they're trying to make a larger point that, even though they had access to this power, that's not the reason why Alicia is a good team member. That's not why Squad 7 was victorious. Not because she happened to be a Valkyria and she happened to, carry god power around with her and just sort of use that as a MacGuffin to solve all of your nation's woes. But rather we did this as human beings, as regular soldiers, outside of this, catch-all, beat-all power.
Here we go.
And that, again, at the end of the day, Alicia is a valued team member that makes up a portion of our army, but is not the be-all, end-all, and she is not a weapon. She's a human. And that there are, her humanity is far more important to us than than any one thing that could really turn the tide of battle. Whereas again, the Emperor, everything is a pawn to him. Everything is a disposable piece on the board that can be moved in such a way that it'll guarantee him victory, or it'll guarantee that he gets to his goal, whatever that may be. Conquering a nation.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
Access to minerals, ragnite deposits, etc.
The sheer size of it.
Yeah, you're dead.
Good work. Keep it up.
Gotta take a little peek around here, make sure there's no guys hiding. And then we'll progress with Alicia here. Or, no, I gotta heal her, that's right. We'll heal her on the next turn. We also have to kind of move the tanks through the minefield. So we're gonna be doing that here in a moment. And then I forgot to steal off the the other pathway, so I'm gonna have to unfortunately send someone back to do that job, and the one that's closest to it.
Sir!
That was fast.
Everybody stay sharp. It is kind of a ridiculous... Marmota is kind of a ridiculous concept where it...
Sir, there's a fork in the gully.
The straight path leads away from our target. We need to make them turn.
In that case, why not use the explosives on the straight path to block it with debris?
Right.